This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back in the saddle, at home, in the studio. Glad to see the Knicks get a win tonight. And, I mean, you know, the Knicks been on a tear for a little bit lately, ladies and gentlemen, as they blow out the Orlando Magic 121-106, and they clinch the top spot in Group A, ladies and gentlemen. And I think they're actually in all of group play, maybe the second seed behind the Bucks, but the Knicks will host the Atlanta Hawks. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks are undefeated in group play. So when all the games count. But when the games have meant something, the Knicks have showed up. The #1 offense took on the #1 defense, and the #1 offense dominated the #1 defense in the NBA. What do you got to say about that? And the Knicks defense seems like it's beginning to round into shape, ladies and gentlemen. And we're beginning to see what this team can do, what this team may actually look like when they are at, I don't want to say full strength, but, you know, when the chemistry is fully there, when they're actually playing like how they might look in the future. Cody said, love how they are finally gelling. That's what it is right there. The Knicks are beginning to gel. They're beginning to gel, ladies and gentlemen. And offensively, this team is looking like they're going to be scary. I mean, they scored 145 points in the game. 145 points. And they probably could have played better that game. They scored 121 points tonight and held the Orlando Magic to 106. All right, listen, it's not going to be like this every single night. But it's becoming more and more common with this basketball team that they dominate games offensively. And when they are consistently dominating teams defensively, ladies and gentlemen, how scary will this team be? Now, they're going to have to prove this against your top teams in the NBA. Listen, Orlando Magic, they came into this game ahead of the New York Knicks in the standings. Right? So it's not like the Knicks, rolled over some slouch team. They beat a team that's good. Right, Kevin? Yeah, Orlando has a bright future. No doubt about it. They beat a team that's very good. And the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, are proving that they are serious in the league. Right? They're proving that they are serious in the East. King said, once Mitch and Precious come back, the defense will be better. Yeah, no doubt about it. But you know what? While they are not here, the team must continue to gel defensively. And they're getting better defensively. They've got to continue to gel defensively. I mean, if this team can put together the best offense in the league, if they can put together and be a top 10 defense, oh, man, I mean, that's crazy. And it will be crazy if they can put together a top 10 defense in the league, along with the #1 offense in the league. So we'll see the way things go with this team and the way that they continue let's talk about them clinching the top spot in group play. I'm going to say this. It means something to me. I don't care. A lot of people say, well, it's just group play. It's just, the in-season tournament. I want to see how when the stakes are high, I want to see how this team performs together. You know what I mean? And so far, during group play, they've dominated, right? They're winning basketball games. They're doing what we expect them to do. I got my man DJ Shuttle in the building. DJ Shuttle, what's popping with you, brother? How you feeling, man? You're muted, bro. I can't hear you. Or your mic, or the mic ain't working or something. But I'm unable to hear you right now. I don't got you coming through. Try again. No, might have to maybe check the settings. Maybe check the StreamYard settings. Because I'm unable to hear you at the moment. Yeah. So I'll bring you back in. I'll bring you back in just a second, Shuttle. But I want to know what that means to you, how much it means to you, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Benjamin said, Cat played tough tonight, second in the league in rebounding, 12th in the league in scoring. The Cat is soft narrative should be done with right now. That's been done with me for a while, to be honest with you. As far as the whole Cat being soft thing, that's pretty much been over with for me. I see the way that he's playing. I see the things that Cat does on the court. He puts in the effort, the extra effort. That's been done with me. And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm one of those people that I was concerned about it. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure if Cat could play with that type of intensity, but he does. He can. You know what I mean? Knicks clinch the top spot in Group A, ladies and gentlemen. I want to know what that means to you. Ralph Unreal said, he doesn't care for the cup. Cody said, winning matters. I'm totally into this NBA Cup thing. I agree. I think winning matters. You know what I'm saying? I think it matters to play in high-stakes games and win. You know what I mean? This is a team that hasn't really had the chance to go to battle together, right? Who we had beforehand, we had, guys that went to battle in some playoff matchups together. This is a chance for this team in the middle of the season, any team in the league, but in the middle of the season to do some battle together during maybe, some more tightly contested, intense type of basketball games. And so I think it's good. Now, when you're in games and you go into those games, are you thinking really, really hard about the cup? Maybe not. Is Tom Thibodeau trying to run up the score or whatever because of the cup? Probably not. I guess if you get into, a situation, you might say, let's score more so we can get this seeding or that seeding. Maybe you do, but I think Tom Thibodeau's just like, let's win. And then it falls where it may. And I'm with that. 100%. I'm with that. Right? That's how you do it. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. Let's take a look at the box scores. All right. Who did what tonight? And I do want to let people know, you see down below me, ladies and gentlemen, Knicks versus DC, December the 30th. Let's just get some people there. Tickets are $130. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. All right, you can get them now. They're gonna be gone. So if you're gonna be in the area or if you live in the area, join us for the Knicks versus Wizards. All right, section 114, $130. We'll do a pregame, postgame podcast. We would love to get a bunch of people at the game. All right, we would love to get that done. So please make sure you check that out, ladies and gentlemen. I just put the link in the chat. I'm going to make sure the link is in the description of the video. All right, so that you can get those tickets now. We've got to get them as soon as possible. I told people in the Wizards, and they don't care that we're a bunch of Knicks fans. They just want people there because, the Wizards not good. So they need fans in the building. And you better believe that's going to be a New York Knicks crowd. It's going to be probably 75% Knicks fans. Right, so you need to come join us, ladies and gentlemen, on December the 30th. And the Knicks will be playing them twice. They'll be playing them December the 28th, and then they play them on December the 30th. Right, we're only getting tickets to December the 30th game, but we may do some sort of live podcast on December the 28th. I haven't figured that out yet. So if you're traveling, you might want to stay for both games. I don't know what your plans are, but definitely come to the December 30th game. It is a Monday, but it's going to be dope. We're going to have a great time. The link is in the description of the video. It's also in the chat here. But let's take a look at the box score of tonight's game. The Knicks take out the Orlando Magic, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks led in scoring tonight by Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks. The guy is playing out of his mind basketball. You know what I mean? And all you could do is love it. DJ Shuttle, what's poppin', man? We got you? Nah, I still don't hear you. I still don't hear you. I don't know exactly what it is, but we still don't hear you. And I checked my settings to make sure that I got it, but it's not there. And I'm still not hearing you. All right, I appreciate it, Shuttle. Appreciate it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks were led in scoring by Karl Anthony Towns, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 2 blocks. 8 for 18 from the field, 2 for 5 from the three-point line. The chemistry is really picking up between, Karl Anthony Towns and everyone on the team, but especially with Jalen Brunson. That chemistry is really, really beginning to peak. But I don't even want to say peak. It's just picking up. It hasn't peaked yet. The offensive chemistry with this team hasn't peaked. And it's still very, very good. Still very, very good. Jalen Brunson, 21 points, 4 assists tonight for Jalen Brunson. A little bit on the low end. Right? I mean, balanced scoring across the board. Mikal Bridges, 19 points, 5 assists after having a great game. Comes back with a very good game, shooting 61.5% from the field, 33% from 3. 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Would love to see Mikal Bridges figure out how to get to the line a little bit more. OG Anunoby has been having a wonderful season, 18 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Josh Hart with a triple-double tonight, 11 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists. Everybody's playing their role. Miles McBride, 18 points tonight. I'm telling you, man. Deuce. Deuce, deuce, deuce. I love Deuce, and I love everything that Deuce does for this basketball team. Everything. Everything that Deuce does. I mean, Deuce is going to be an unsung hero for this team. And when the stakes are high, I really do believe that Deuce is going to step up and make big plays. He's already making big plays for the Knicks. But when the stakes are high, Deuce is going to make some huge plays this season. In some clutch moments, he's going to make some big plays. You know what I mean? I love what Deuce is doing this season, and I think it's going to continue. We haven't seen the best of him yet. You know what I mean? His confidence is growing. His shooting is tremendous. You know what I mean? I can't say enough about Deuce McBride. I don't think anyone can say enough about Deuce McBride. I mean, you look down the box scores, only a couple of guys who are negative in the plus minus. Everybody's in the positive. 21 for OG Anunoby, 18 for Josh Hart, 25 for Cat, 33 for Mikal Bridges, 24 for Jalen Brunson, -2 for Deuce, -10 for Jericho Sims, -13 for Matt Ryan. Most of that is because during the end of the game, garbage time, Orlando's playing a little bit harder so that they can, shave that lead from 30 to 20 or whatever it is that they needed to do to make sure that they had their position in group play. JJ said, really impressive win, played great on both ends. Yeah, great win. Really good win for the Knicks. And we've been saying that. We've been saying that lately, right? Good win for the Knicks. We've been saying that lately. Obviously, against Orlando, they had a rough one against Orlando. You know what I mean? But it's gonna happen. The key was they pulled out the win. That was the key. They pulled out the win. And now, here they go. The Knicks are 13-8 on the season. A rocky start to the season for the Knicks, but now that they're rounding into shape, you got to start looking at where they are in the Eastern Conference and where they might be, because they are rounding into shape. And they're becoming one of the powerhouses of the league right now. Okay, right now the Knicks are still behind Orlando, right? Who are 15-8. The Knicks are 13-8. So they have the Orlando has a better winning percentage than the Knicks. All right, but for all intents and purposes, the Knicks they're in fourth place. They could be in third place in the standings in the Eastern Conference. Can they inch themselves up to? They'll get the third spot. Can they inch themselves up to 1 or 2? I don't know. I think so. It's possible. I mean, you got Cleveland, you got Boston. The Knicks are currently 5.5 games behind Cleveland, 4 games behind Boston. A lot of season left. A lot of season left. A lot of season left. CG said, Knicks win was more than pulled it off. Magic were on a winning streak despite missing key players. Yeah, I'm not talking about this game. I was talking about when they lost to Charlotte. When they beat Charlotte, they pulled that off. That's what I'm talking about. Obviously, they convincingly won tonight. But when they played Charlotte, they pulled that one off. And that's what you got to do when you're a good team. Sometimes, you got to pull a game off. All right, the Knicks right now have won 3 in a row. All right, they're on a 3-game win streak. They're 8-2 in the last 10, and really beginning to play some good, very good basketball. There's been a lot of talk, including myself, about who's the top 3, who's the third best player. All of it. I still think it's OG Anunoby, but to be honest with you, does it even matter? Right? Does it even matter who it is? As long as the Knicks are able to win basketball games, I think that's the only thing that needs to really matter. And I'm guilty of it myself, right? Because it's what you talk about. The type of things you talk about. Who's the best player? Who's this? Who's that? And all of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? The type of thing that you talk about, but it doesn't really matter. The wins matter. On Diaz, correct. The wins matter. That's the only things that matter. It's the only thing that matters, the wins. All right? And ladies and gentlemen, just another reminder. The Knicks versus DC versus Washington in DC, December the 30th. All right, join NBK. There's a link in the description of the video. I'm about to put a link in the chat, all right, so that you can jump on, get your tickets. It's $130 per ticket. All right, section 114. It's a good, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good deal, good price. For Nick, listen, you're not going to find it any place else. I can guarantee you that. You're not going to find that in MSG. Not that price. You know what I mean? So please make sure that you join us on December the 30th. Knicks versus Wizards. Knicks better get that win. Right? We can't relax because we're playing the Wizards. as I said, the Knicks dominate the basketball game, score 121 points, 49 rebounds, 46 for the Magic, 30 assists for the Knicks, 20 assists for the Orlando Magic. This 30 number in assists, ladies and gentlemen, is becoming common play for the Knicks. It's common that the Knicks are going to get 30 assists every game. And by the season's end, if the Knicks are not right now, I haven't looked, but if they're not right now, they will be the number one assist-getting team in the league. I can guarantee that. Right? They'll be the number one assist-getting team in the league. They'll average 30-plus assists per game. Right now, the Memphis Grizzlies average 30.7 assists per game. The Knicks obviously started the season a little bit slower, so they didn't have, they didn't pick up those assist numbers. Right now, the Knicks are 9th in the league in assists. But there's no doubt in my mind that the Knicks will be the number one team in the league in assists. Right? They're doing it nightly. They're doing it nightly, every night, grabbing, 30-plus assists. They average 27.9 assists right now. We'll be looking for that number to go up. And it will continue to go up. Right? They'll be the number one assist-getting team in the league. And it's something that we've, last season, the last few seasons, because the Knicks were such a one-on-one team, it was, 22, 23, 25 assists. The addition of Karl Anthony Towns, as much as I had questions about it, because, the Knicks were built with the way that Julius Randle played, the team was kind of built around that. The addition of Karl Anthony Towns, his basketball IQ, his ability to spread the floor, his ability to pass the ball from the high post, from anywhere, to be honest with you, has changed the way that you see this team offensively, has changed the amount of threats that you have on the floor. Right? Because now there's threats from everywhere, because OG Anunoby can slice to the basket. Mikal Bridges can slice to the basket. Obviously, Jalen Brunson can go off the dribble. Screen and roll from Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. Right? Josh Hart can kill him in transition, but he also gets assists. And they're coming together. This team doesn't play selfish. Campaign every once in a while. But they don't play selfish. They'll give up the basketball for the best shot. They'll make smart basketball plays. Now, the Knicks had 17 turnovers tonight. Uncharacteristic of this basketball team. Now, it could be because, so much garbage time during the game. But they shot 50% from the field, 42.9% from three, 100% from the free throw line. They held Orlando to 43.7% shooting from the field, 23.1% shooting from the three-point line. Orlando shot 84% from the free throw line. I mean, the Magic did dominate the paint, 58 points in the paint to the Knicks 48. Second chance points, the Knicks, Orlando 10, the Knicks 5, but the Knicks shot well, right? So there'd be less chances for second chance points. Fast break points, Orlando 15, the Knicks 14. All right, but the Knicks, dominate the basketball game. And the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, attempted tonight only 35 three-point attempts. I think this team should be shooting around 40 three-point attempts per game, and that'll happen. The Knicks are, and I complained about it earlier. I'm getting used to it now, okay? The Knicks are actually a low attempt team. I guess because they play a little bit slower. I mean, they took 85 field goal attempts tonight. 20 free throw attempts, a little bit higher than other nights. Still not a lot. This does scare me sometimes that the Knicks don't shoot a ton of free throws because on nights, and hopefully there's not a ton of them, but on nights when they're not scoring, you need those free throws to keep you in the game, right? To help you score when you're not hitting the shot. The Knicks don't get to the line a bunch. Now they have the ability to shoot it at a high clip. Maybe that makes up for it because it does so in their field goal attempts, right? The Knicks attempt, 85, 86, 87 field goals per game, but they make 50% of their field goals, right? Because they're a very good shooting team. So they're a little bit more methodical in getting their shots. It's not as much freelance, I guess you would say. They're very methodical in getting their shot. Take their time. Play a little bit of a slower pace, especially in that starting unit. You don't have a lot, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, they're not speed demons. So they're going to play a slower pace, and I think that's okay. Eventually, it's going to help the defense, I think. Tom Thibodeau's a slow pace kind of coach. You'll hear him say, you will hear him say, push it, go, go, go. But I think he's really a slow pace type coach. I think he feels like he has more control over the game when the Knicks take their time, make good decisions. Right? That's how I think Tom Thibodeau coaches the best. As for, ladies and gentlemen, the Orlando Magic, they were led in scoring by Franz Wagner, 30 points tonight from Wagner. And Moritz Wagner had 20 points, top two in scoring. Obviously, Orlando was playing with some, key players out. It is what it is. That's going to happen. The Knicks took care of business as they should have. 14 points for Jalen Suggs, 10 points for Cole Anthony, 9 points for KCP. Tristan Da Silva, 8 points. So, Orlando Magic playing a little bit undermanned, but, still a young competitive team that's going to be a good team in this league. And they will be in the playoffs. They'll probably be a top 4, top 5 team in the Eastern Conference. No doubt about it. Silk said, "Hey Sam, I'm shocked that Cat's passing game. I didn't see this in Minnesota. The team is obviously different in Minnesota, right? Just the way that they were structured. Tom Thibodeau, if you go back to the Joakim Noah days on the Chicago Bulls, even when he was with the Knicks a little bit, Tom Thibodeau likes to have a passing big man and utilizes a passing big man. And I guarantee you, if you as the season goes on and you see Cat and things, you see Cat and things that the Knicks do off of Cat at the high post, you can go back and look at those Bulls especially when Derrick Rose was out, the offense ran through Joakim Noah. He wasn't the point guard, but they would get the ball to Joakim on the post and then let him find cutters, find slashers, find people spotting up. And I think the longer this offense goes, the more you're going to see Cat do that. Right? And I think that is what Tom Thibodeau, that I think that's a hallmark of Tom Thibodeau. You don't always see it because he may not always have a big man that can pass the basketball. But he does in Karl Anthony Towns now. And I think the Knicks will be very effective doing it because you got guys that can cut off the ball. Josh Hart can cut off the ball. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, these guys can cut off the ball. And they can shoot the three. So it makes having a passing big man very, very effective. And then, of course, Karl Anthony Towns is probably, a little bit used to what Tom Thibodeau wants to do because Cat was coached by Tom a few years ago. Tom Thibodeau did say earlier that, one of the things he's really surprised or likes about Cat and his growth is his awareness of the game has grown. His basketball IQ has grown. So, I think we're going to see a lot more of Tom Thibodeau, of Karl Anthony Towns, passing the ball. Now, what makes him better than Joakim Noah is that he can also score the ball. Joakim Noah couldn't score the ball, right? He couldn't score the ball. But Karl Anthony Towns can knock down a three. He can go to the basket. He can post up a little bit. And he can pass the ball. So it makes him very dangerous. Very dangerous. And it makes the Knicks that much more dangerous. I'm impressed by his passing as well. I'm more impressed by his the aggressiveness that he's playing with. And I think it's because of the expectations of Tom Thibodeau. So as much as people might want to be, whatever about Tom Thibodeau and this and that and the third, his expectations of his players, the expectations that he has of his players is what helps them to play at their maximum potential, especially role players. Especially role players. JJ said there's nothing Cat can't do offensively. That's true. And it makes it such a big plus for the Knicks offensively because he's a big man. You know what I mean? And if he wanted to, Cat could probably advance the ball up the floor. We've seen it. So it really does make the Knicks dangerous. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I just pinned to the top of the chat a link to the Knicks versus Wizards on December the 30th. We're trying to get these tickets purchased by early next week. So, if you plan on going, get them. $130 per ticket. All right, $130 per ticket. Section 114. That section 114 is just right of the Knicks bench. All right, so make sure that you get those tickets now before they are gone. Knicks versus Wizards, December 30th in Washington, D.C. Pre-game, post-game podcast, tons of pictures, just good fun with Knicks fans. And it's going to be like being at MSG, just not the same price as MSG. All right, so let's let's join all the other Knicks fans and let's take over D.C., ladies and gentlemen. We'll take over D.C. the entire weekend. The Knicks play the 28th and they play the 30th. Make all these D.C. fans mad. We'll take over the entire town for 2 days, for the entire weekend. You know what I mean? On Diaz, I hope we see you there. You know what I mean? Make sure you check it out. Get in touch with me. You know what I'm saying? We can get you on to do a live podcast. Last time we did it, we got to do a live podcast right inside the stadium. How's that? Right inside the stadium, we got to do live podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And we're planning to do the same thing this year, pregame and postgame. So, please make sure you join us. Tickets in the description and pinned to the top of the chat. I want to get back to this, to the end cup, to the end season tournament. Because there are some people that don't care much for it. And I've seen some people in the chat. I would like for you to explain that a little bit more, because any measure of competition to me is good when you play sports. It starts to prepare you, right? I think this is a good measuring stick for the team, for any team that's in the league, because you just get a chance to see how your team, how your players will react in this type of situation. It's not the exact same thing, of course. It's different, a little bit different. But you get an idea. You get a facsimile. That's the word I want to use, $100 word. A facsimile of what you might get in the playoffs. So you can start to prepare your mind for that. And if you make it to the championship game, then you're really preparing yourself for the playoffs, preparing your mind for the playoffs. So I want the Knicks to win it. We're in it. Let's win it. You know what I mean? I want them to take it seriously. And then with whatever happens, if you win it, great. If you don't, look back and say, okay, what did we do wrong and how do we fix that for the playoffs? I mean, it's a great way in my mind to prepare the team for the playoffs. Great way to do it. Old head said, we play to win. Let's get that Emeritus Cup. However you say it. Get the cup. You know what I'm saying? Get the cup. Go try to get it. Cody said, I agree about Cat, the expectations of Tibbs, but also being on the stage in New York. Definitely. You know what I mean? I think anyone who gets on the New York stage automatically says to themselves, yeah, this is different. I got to step up and play, because if not, I know what these fans are like and I know what these fans will do. You know what I mean? And plus, Cat's home, from the area, all of that. You know what I mean? So definitely he wants to step up and play big. And he's been doing that since he's been here. But yeah, I want the Knicks to win the cup. I want them to or go as far as they, I want them to win it. Go as far as they can go, but I want them to win it. And then take that experience into the playoffs. Right? This team needs these type of moments. Right? They need these type of moments to continue to gel and continue to get stronger together. They need these type of moments. So, playing in the in-season cup together, making it to the championship game. They'll be in some battles. They'll be in some tight situations. They'll have to band together in order to make it happen. So that's something that the team needs, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's something that will help the team to grow. So yeah, I want to see them win it. No doubt about it. I want to see them come away with a win. I want to see Jalen Brunson in the clutch in that type of situation. I want to see Karl Anthony Towns in the clutch in that type of situation. Right? OG Anunoby, rising as the third best player. I want to see him in the clutch in that type of situation. Miles McBride. Right? As a coach, you want to see it because some of these guys you haven't had enough experience with. Mikal Bridges, Tom Thibodeau's never coached Mikal Bridges. Right? So how do I know what buttons to push when it's playoff time? Well, the Emeritus Cup, however, I don't know why I can't say it, gives you an idea, right? Playing in the in-season tournament gives you an idea. Karl Anthony Towns, I think they was in the playoffs 1 year together, right? You get a little bit more, and that was a while ago. So, Cat's a new player. Tom's a new coach. So you get the chance to do it. Silk, my man, my man, said it seems lately Knicks are focused against playoff contenders. Denver, Philly, Milwaukee. We lose focus to non-contenders, Chicago, Utah, Charlotte. Great observation. It's a good observation. The loss to Utah still stings. We lost to the Chicago Bulls, a tight game to the Magic. But we came away with that win. And that's the hallmark of a team that this is what I'm talking about, hasn't been in those battles. See, when you're with a team and you're in those battles, you learn. When you're with a team, you learn the characteristic of your own team. You learn your team's characteristics. Right? The more you play, you learn the team's characteristics. And right now, that might be one of their characteristics, that they have a little bit of a letdown against teams that aren't as good. Why? Because those teams are going to come to play because they know they're playing a good team, and you might have a little bit of a letdown saying, we can steamroll them. So, maybe that's something they got to figure out. Now, when you get into the cup, they should be intense right from the get-go. There should be no figuring that out. You know, not at all. But JJ said the Hawks are playing well, and the Knicks will be playing the Hawks. The Knicks will be hosting the Hawks. The Knicks should, they should still be able to win. I'm not saying that the Hawks are not good. The Knicks should be able to win. Jalen Johnson is balling. Jalen Johnson is a monster. He's a monster. He's a young guy that's going to be very, very good in the NBA, and he's a guy you got to watch out for. You know what I mean? He's a guy that you got to watch out for. The Atlanta Hawks, right now, see where the Hawks are in the league, or in the Eastern Conference. The Hawks are, an anomaly to me. You know what I mean? They were a couple of years ago. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals, and now they're just like a middle meddling team. Right now, they're sixth in the Eastern Conference. They're 11-11. Yeah, they're like just a middle meddling team. I don't know exactly where they're going, but they're 3-1 in group play. Right. So right now, your East leaders, the Bucks are 4-0, the Knicks are 4-0, the Hawks are 3-1. Wild card. The Magic right now have that wild card spot. They're 3-1. The Celtics are 3-1. Well, the Magic have the wild card spot. So the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, will be facing the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks are the second seed. The Hawks are the third seed. As far as the Western Conference right now, the Thunder, the Rockets, the Warriors, Mavericks. So, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Kerry Cox, you said, my NBA surprise team is the Houston Rockets. Yeah, hey, listen, the Houston Rockets are one of them teams, a young team that it's got young talent, young legs, lively, and they're second in the Western Conference right now at 15-6. And, the way that they went about it, they picked up Fred VanVleet. They had a young team, picked up a leader in Fred VanVleet. Obviously, you got Udoka as the coach. You know what I mean? They put together a young, spry, gritty team. Let's see if they can keep that thing going. You know what I mean? But, ladies and gentlemen, great win from the Knicks tonight. Great win. They clinch the Group A, top spot in Group A of the Emeritus Cup. They'll be playing the Atlanta Hawks. You know that. It should be fun to watch the Knicks navigate through the in-season tournament. I want them to win the championship, no doubt. I want to see them win the championship. You know what I mean? But I'm going to head up out of here. Tomorrow night, me and Tony will be on doing the Losers Lounge. He couldn't make it tonight. He's got to get up super early in the morning, so we'll be on tomorrow night doing the Losers Lounge, a little bit later in the evening. So please join us for the Losers Lounge. There'll be a lot to talk about. No doubt about it. All right, so we're looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night on the Losers Lounge. We'll have those notifications out early in the day. And I do want to let you know, I know my schedule's been up and down and all over the place, but I'll be doing a few different alternative styles of content just to make sure that I'm able to talk to everybody and getting the content out. So sometimes you might see me driving to work, doing a quick show, 10-minute, 15-minute show as I'm on the way to work. I might do something on my lunch break. So obviously it would look a little bit different than what you see now with me in the studio, but that's okay. I'll make sure the quality is clear. I know the last show I did, the quality was mad scratchy because I didn't have everything adjusted right, but that won't happen again. All right, that won't happen again. So, I've got to do some alternative things because my other business has really, really picked up. So that's the one that pays the bills. I got to give it the attention that it needs. So I've got to focus on that. So I've got to find some other ways to get content out to you. And, I'm working on that as we speak. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm heading out. I'll see you tomorrow night on the Losers Lounge with my man Tony Crow. Just one last reminder, we got the Knicks versus Wizards game in Washington, D.C., 12:30, December 30th. So make sure you come join us. The link is in the description of the video. The link is also in the YouTube chat. I'm putting it in the YouTube chat once again. Section 114, $130 per ticket. You can get them, take care of it right now, and join us on December 30th. Post-game, pre-game, post-game podcast, all of that stuff, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be real, real dope. All right, I'm up out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Be peaceful. One.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.